Yes, up we go. This could be anything. Welcome to the latest edition of Rugby League Insider. We're doing it all thanks to the very good people at FanaticsTV. Live on the YouTubes, launch into the comments, give us your feedback. And the hotline is rock and rolling. That number 02-8001-6260. Now, along for the ride today, Queensland Rugby League royalty, Matty Vaughton. How are we, mate?
Good morning, James. I'm very well. How are you?
Mate, I'm going good. A lot of twists and turns out of round 25.
Still going. Still got 2 rounds to go.
Most importantly, the West Tigers have got the flags tipped around from upside down, the international sign for distress, and they've had a victory. They've snapped an 8-game losing drought.
I was at that game.
Yeah, mate, I'm calling you the lucky charm. You were out there.
Okay, well,
I know how much you love black and gold.
Yeah. Do I have to go to every
you
game?
love shitting all over them.
Yeah, I do, actually. It's fun.
How was it?
Good. Yeah, it was a really good game. I thoroughly enjoyed it. They do it really well, the Roosters. That stadium's awesome.
Okay, well, they did it even
well. They
really
didn't do it well on the
that.
field, but you know what I mean. They've got a good stadium.
They have got a good stadium. And here he is. He's back by popular demand. Savage by name, savage by nature. He's had the ears lowered. He's looking at $1 million today. What's going on, Brandon Savage?
Not much. Obviously, got the haircut because I saw a comment the other day that someone called their brother Krusty the Clown because he didn't wipe his own ass. So didn't want to start getting called Krusty the Clown all of a sudden again. So, got it done.
Right, that's a concerning act for you straight off the bat.
I didn't get one last week.
Mate, I left that bull-eye pass comment out of there because I just thought it was a little bit over the edge. But as usual, you've walked straight into it. And I don't mind that whatsoever.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I got a funny one the other day too about the slug, saying the caterpillar's taken a little bit long to come back. Oops, what's going on?
It is, isn't it?
I'll pay that.
Bit grey
mate,
too.
It'll be back by about grand final day.
Yeah.
Anywho, we will actually talk some rugby league on this jibber jabber as well. And
just a minute though, as you can see, the hats, they're on sale. Fanatics.tv.
Wow, okay.
Rugby League Insider.
Here they are. Okay, yep. They will be flying off the rack, as they like to say, or off the racks. Launch into Fanatics TV. You head into the shop there, do you? Or?
Yeah, Fanatics.tv. We have the maroon and the blue ones on sale. The orange one's a specialty. We'll for our callers, for the best caller of the week, we give them away, but still got to nut out the details of that one, so stay tuned.
Yeah, Daphne and Darren wearing those orange hats on the switchboard as we speak as well, so something to look forward to. Now, as we always like to try and do on this podcast, breaking news in terms of the greatest game of all, rugby league, and this is a good story. The Bulldogs have sharpened the pencil in terms of one of the club's favourite sons, Jacob Preston, gunback rower. A little bit of an underarm offer to begin negotiations. Well, the Dogs have seen the error of their ways. From what I'm hearing out of Canterbury, they have absolutely bumped that up, and it is on target. Jacob Preston, it'll be a 4-year extension to remain in the blue and white. There was a conga line of rival NRL clubs queued up, waiting for Jacob to get the green light to speak as of November the 1st. But Augustus and the Bulldogs, from what I am hearing out of Canterbury Bankstown, have had a rethink and have decided that I think they see him as a future captain of the club. So this deal, I expect, will be done imminently. Matty, what do you make of this?
Yeah, so we had it pegged at about $650 last week. That was the offer initially.
Yeah, that was the underarms, yes.
So what did we think it kind of got to, or it's going to get to?
Yeah, I think they're still sort of,
because we were throwing
still
around
thrashing bits and pieces out. But look, I'd have to think, right? I reckon what really shifted everyone's view on the whole back row market was when the Raiders offered Hudson Young 1.1 times 3. No ratchets or anything, but still, like, that's that. And look, he's a state of origin back rower. He's a kangaroo back rower. One of the best edge forwards in the game, Hudson, no question. But I think that kind of shifted everyone's view on the holy dooly. Well, hang on, this, we're really going to have to get busy here.
Yeah, I think with Jacob Preston, they're not just buying a ready-made second rower right now. They're also buying a bit of potential there because I think he's only got room to grow. And also, I think, as you said, he's going to be they're buying a leader too. They're buying, he may not necessarily have the C next to his name. He may, but he's also a leader. Like, we can see that. So, overall, I think, get it done if you're the Dogs. And I'd probably reckon 750 is probably the mark.
Yeah, well, 650 in the PNG cap is 373,000 in hand. So the fact that they offered 650 meant the PNG could probably offer the same amount of money for more in hand. So the fact they've bumped it up, fair play by the Bulldogs. Like I think it was a smart decision to maybe not necessarily lowball Jacob Preston, but it was within their rights with the salary cap, with what they're dealing with, Matt Bird and Stephen Crichton, Viliami Kikau. It was a fair play on their behalf, and I definitely, the fact that they've corrected themselves and they're not like standing strong, fair play to them. They know what they got there in Jacob Preston.
I do feel like there was a bit of public backlash for that figure that was initially out there. A lot of pundits and even I think even Rennie Matua and Josh Reynolds were saying that was a really low offer to begin with. I think that probably that might have swayed the Dogs to maybe go, let's pump it up and let's play the negotiation a bit more in Preston's favour. I
think you're spot on, mate. They copped heavy backlash, the Dogs, because I think most people, when they looked at it in black and white, the cold light of day, it was an underarm offer. Like, he did go on the Kangaroo touring group last year over for that Ashes series. He's a very good chance of playing for Australia at the end of this season under Kevy Walters in the World Cup. I'm tipping, and it's only a throw at the stumps, I reckon that it'll have to have an 8 in front of it, given just reading the room and based on the reaction from a lot of good judges around the game. He's a very good player. And I think I can also understand from a Canterbury point of view too. I mean, I've heard Cameron Ciraldo speak publicly about he's come and sat in my office. He's told me how much he loves the club. So it's got to be a two-way street in that respect. And I would think that a lot of people, I remember when he first arrived at Canterbury Bankstown and they signed him out of the North Sydney Bears, even then early doors, they were talking about he could be a future captain of the club. And I think he fits that mould every day of the week. Leadership would suit him down to the ground. So good result for the Doggies, good result for Augustus Gould, and big result for the Doggies fans, Brandon.
I haven't agreed with a lot of the decisions the Bulldogs have made in the past, but this is how negotiations work. They start at where the base is, I guess, and the Preston camp would have leaked this number, which would have pushed his price up. So this is typical negotiation tactics, and the fact that Bulldogs weren't just sticking hard and strong with this is our final offer, 650, that would have been an issue. But the fact that this is just the ongoing negotiation process.
Happy for Darcy too. She said consistently on here that she was very confident that he wouldn't be going anywhere. She pointed out that it was a negotiation. Obviously, it didn't get off to the best start in relation to the figures that were getting bandied about, but happy days. It'll get done. Big result for Canterbury Bankstown, and congratulations to Jacob Preston. So what'll that mean if he's already signed till the end of, I'll lose track of years. It's 27 next year. Yeah. So we'll go 28, 29, 30. Shit. Yeah, okay. That's a long term. That means he's there for the next 5 seasons. How old is he now, Preston? What's he about, 24?
Yeah.
So that'll be till, 2031?
Yeah, end of 31.
Yeah. So he'll be about 29.
So if the Doggies can get the premiership window open again, it jammed shut pretty hard this season, but I'm not saying they can't prize it back open over the summer. They definitely need to still get busy in the market in terms of key position players. I know they were in for Brimson. That won't happen. I think he's going to PNG.
PNG?
Yeah. AJ.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought it might have been more Perth.
No.
Okay.
I think he likes the cut of the free money that's on offer over at Papua New Guinea, as a lot of players do, and certainly not begrudging any of them for doing that. They can set themselves up. It turns your head when you start that. Well, you turned our heads when you crunched how much you pay on 1.1 million. We will point out again, there is a market value set on all players, and there is benchmarking in terms of values set by the NRL, and they won't register contracts with Papua New Guinea for anything that is way too unders in relation to that. So they do still have a salary cap, but then they've also got third parties too, which, as we've seen with Jerome Luai, can be very, very lucrative.
I just back to the Bulldogs as well, the fact that they offered Jacob Preston so little. Their spine is probably a bottom 4 spine in the competition at the moment. Yeah. I really don't mind. All this uproar from all the fans and all that, I get it. He's a loved player, but they've got to sort their spine out. They've got to get in the market to get a piece or two of that puzzle. So hopefully they're doing that.
What do you think they need?
I think they need a fullback. They need a halfback.
Fullback and a halfback. That's what they need.
Fullback
right?
and a
Freddie
halfback
Lussick arrives next year.
Yep.
I'm tipping he'll probably start in the number 9 jumper. They use Bailey Hayward more in a middle style of a role, or can also deputise at dummy half. But they need a strike fullback and an organising halfback. They might already have the halfback in their system in Sean O'Sullivan. If they could go and get an elite like an AJ Brimson or something like that, all of a sudden that does change the whole look of the Bulldogs.
Yeah, just
attack.
on that, someone tossed this up to me yesterday. Why don't they swap Connor Tracy for AJ Brimson, as in do a player swap?
Yeah,
The
you'd
Titans
have to
do
get
that?
the Gold Coast.
Yeah, I know. Well, to be
agree.
honest, this is why I'm saying it.
And AJ Brimson's on 900.
Yeah.
And Connor Tracy would only be on about, I'm
700?
guessing,
No, 5.
Wow, really?
550 when he
Okay,
re-signed.
so there's a bit of a discrepancy.
And he only recently re-signed as well.
The only reason I say it is because I think I love AJ Brimson, but I do think his time with the Titans has come to a bit of a close, and I think that's probably best on both sides. I just think it's exhausted itself. I think he is due for a new club, and they do need to move off him. The centre thing just hasn't really worked. He's been good, but they need a proper centre.
I think he'd be perfect at the Bulldogs, to be honest.
In the centres or
a fullback.
Yeah, fullback.
Brimson, yeah, I'd love to see him at the Bulldogs.
Well, the Bulldogs, when AJ got permission from the Gold Coast Titans, I reckon it was probably going back about 2.5 weeks now, the Doggies were the first ones on the phone inquiring, and absolutely they would get him in a heartbeat if they could. But for whatever reason, from what I'm hearing, he's much more fixated on Papua New Guinea. The Gold Coast have got to finish their playing commitments this season first, and then all of a sudden he'll go over and have a look at the compound, and provided that he's happy with that, then I think all roads lead to Port Moresby.
Do you think the Dogs are often in conversations or just inquiring about players just to sort of
save face?
Just to, I don't know, just to make it look like they're doing something or make it almost interfere with other clubs. Do you think they do a bit of that?
From what I've heard, Mitch Woods was someone they really banked on this year.
Yeah, right.
And the fact that he's dealt with so many injuries, I think that has thrown a curveball. So can defend him in that department for sure.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, definitely. Do I think the Dogs... No, I think in this instance they're genuinely very interested.
It's just their names often come up whenever there's.
It does. Well, I think that reflects the way that the season's gone this year. They've gone from a lot of people, most experts had them as being genuine competitors for the top 4. They haven't looked anything like that, with the exception, of the outlying victory over the Panthers way back in round whatever it was.
5, I think.
They haven't really struck too many blows. So, I think that's why.
They're always searching.
Well,
they're always,
until Gus gets them to sort of where he wants them and they look like genuine title contenders, then they'll still be tweaking and tinkering and twisting and turning and all that sort of jazz. I was just having a look at this back rowers market again because we were talking about Preston. It got me thinking, geez, there's some good players on this list. Adavalo Lasati out of the Melbourne Storm, Ben Turbo, Brendan Piakura. Well, he's got a few question marks around him at the moment, doesn't he, with HIAs. Britton Nakora.
Is this for 20? Sorry.
This is November 1.
Yeah, right.
This is November 1. David Fafita, Hudson Young, Jeremiah Nene, Isaiah Papali'i, Jacob Preston, although as we've just confirmed, that's going to get done. Kuli Kefu Fini Fuiaki, Liam Martin, Matty Nicholson from the Raiders, Samuel Afainu, Tallis Duncan, Teague Wilton. It's an elite list.
Yeah, it surprises me that so many are going to November 1 and that these clubs haven't just locked these guys up. Do you think we'll see a lot of movement, or do you think most of them will re-sign?
No, I reckon it's going to be the wild, wild west, Matty, because I was listening to Augustus last night, actually, on 100% footy on Channel 9. That's a good show now, that 100% footy. I like that this season. So Augustus said he reckons it's going to be like, he hasn't seen a period like this since Super League in terms of player contracts, because the cap's going up. Everyone knows the cap's going up. You got the $5.3 billion broadcast deal set to pump rivers of gold in. You've got 18 sides next year, 19 sides the year after, 20 sides possibly the year after that. So all of a sudden, we need all these new players across 3 new clubs. It means that, it really is going to be.
You'd love to be a player agent right now.
November 1's going to be fascinating. Big talk. We're going to be daily podcasting, maybe even a couple of times a day during that
after November 1
trade window period. Yeah. Could
be a couple of times a day.
Well, mate, it just depends on how much action there is going on. But, we love it, so we're just having a look at that. Now, breaking news as well, Adam Reynolds has played his last game for the Brisbane Broncos, trained for a couple of hours on Monday, he got through the session, wanted to play against the Storm on Thursday night, but he's been overruled by Madge. Probably wouldn't have been able to get through the 80 minutes. What do we make of this, boys?
Oh, it's very sad. I watched him interviewed last night on 360, and look, he was saying all the right things, but you could tell he genuinely was disappointed, and that I think he did want to play. I don't really understand why they're not letting him play. And hey, there's still 2 games to go. They've ruled him out of this one, but I don't know if they've fully ruled him out of the next one, have they?
No, he's done.
Oh, really?
Well, that was the announcement.
He's gone. He's announced.
Right.
That's it. He called it. He called it.
Tale.
Yeah.
He called it, though.
He called it, I think, based on the fact that he wanted to play this week because it was at Suncorp.
Yeah.
And Madge and the medical staff went, mate, no, we don't think you're going to get through. And so he went, well, and they went, oh, but what about next week? And he was like, nah. If they play the Dogs next week at a call, he was just like, you know what? If you're not going to let me have a crack this week in front of the home crowd, then I'll save you the punish and I'll just call time myself.
Do you think there's more to it, or do you think they're just trying to save him from himself?
They let bloody Dean Mariner play with a thigh injury and goes to hospital, but Adam Reynolds can't play 20 minutes. Like, as Chock would say, give me a spell.
Yeah, I'm with you. Give me a spell. I reckon, I don't like this at all, from the Broncos. I think, they bought him to help them win a premiership. It was the longest premiership drought in the history of that club, dating back to 1988, 19 years. They hadn't lifted the trophy. He helps them get to the promised land last year. He and Madge go a long way back to the Redfern days when Souths used to train out of Redfern Oval. So, I don't like it. There's something about it.
They can't. There's
nothing. This is it. Like, they're smoked anyway. They're cooked for the season. So why wouldn't you just, maybe you can only get through 20 minutes or half an hour, but just let him go out and, mate, he knows how to play in a dinner suit anyway. He's done it enough over the course of the career when he's been busted that he would have got himself around. I reckon he would have got through the 80 minutes.
Yeah, it's 100%. A concerning sign. Like the fact that the team culture has been under question and you're not allowing this to happen. Like, this is, he brought your club from a wooden spoon, and I haven't been his biggest fan or anything, but he brought your side from a wooden spoon to a premiership, to a grand final in 2023, didn't get the job done, but 2025 last year, that I just can't believe it.
I have been one of his biggest fans for a long time. For a player who has had as many significant injuries, as a young bloke coming through at Souths had Chris Sando, and he was elite as a halfback. And Parramatta come in and offered Chris Sando a shitload of dough, right? And he couldn't say no. I remember at the time, the Souths boss said Chris Sando's essentially met his Alan Bond. He's had his Alan Bond moment, which was it was life-changing money. So Chrissy went to Para, and Adam Reynolds was injured at the time in the lower grades, but had a bit of a rap on him coming through Matt's ball and flag. He got himself right for, I think it was the 2013 season, and then obviously was part of the fairy tale run 2014 when they smashed that 43 season premiership drought. But he had significant setbacks early on and was told he might not be all right and he might not be able to, sustain a long-term NRL career. Well, he got 323 games out. It was only a few years ago. I think it was Shammy when he was still working at the Sydney Morning Herald. He essentially retired him, put an ad in the paper saying Adam Reynolds is a crock. He's busted, can't go on. That's why South's only give him 12 months by 12 months by 12 months. They wanted to just do the 1 year rolling deal like what they'd done with John Sutton. But credit to Adam. I know it hasn't worked out the way that he would have wanted right at the end here, but no one can ever take away what he achieved with the Bunnies and then also what he achieved with Brisbane as captain of the club. That's enormous.
They came pretty close to a second grand final win in 2021.
Shit, yeah. No, 2023.
No. South.
Oh, Bunnies.
South,
Yeah. Well, and then absolutely.
And then they resold him.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yep. And then he was close too under Kevy.
Yeah.
So he's played in 4 grand finals, 1, 2, and been bloody close in 2023 with Brisbane as well. So hell of a career. Congratulations to him. One of my favourite players of all time as a little general playmaker. And I hope he gets the send-off he deserves when he cruises around in the maybe he'll get on Buck the Bronco this weekend. Go for a little trot.
He's the size of a jockey, isn't he?
Stadium.
He's the size of a jockey, isn't he?
Yeah.
Core Stadium was where he played a lot of his footy, so I still don't understand why he couldn't got a send-off there either. Like,
I don't know. I think whatever's gone on behind the scenes, I reckon he's just going, you know what? What about that? Like, they won't let me play this weekend, but then they're saying maybe for next weekend, but it'll depend on medical or whatever. Well, you know what? Just call it. 323 is a fair number. He's won a couple of comps. Good luck to. If you're looking for a quick, easy way to build a same-game multi, you've got to check out PointsBet's 5 for 25. Instead of scrolling through heaps of markets, you simply answer 5 quick questions, more or less, yes or no. That's it. Your selections are automatically built into a same-game multi at fixed odds of $25. It's available on selected events across multiple sports like the NRL. And it couldn't be easier. 5 questions, 1 multi, locked in at $25, fixed odds, crack bang. So if you're having a bet this weekend, jump onto the PointsBet app. Look for 5 for 25, answer the 5 questions, and you're away. PointsBet, it's like hot sauce, but for league.
What's gambling really costing you? For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.
Now, the Broncos root and branch review. No stone unturned as the root and branch review, according to their chairman, Carl Morris, commences. Madge to be offered a standard employment contract, but the root and branch review, they're going to be going through the dressing room. They're going to be looking at the roots and branches everywhere, the front office.
Roots and branches.
There's no stone unturned in the root and branch review. Under desks, left, right and centre, everything in the Clive Burkov Centre, under the barbecue, everything's getting analysed.
What is this standard employment contract?
Yes, it's just standard employment contract. It's a bit different.
4-week notice kind of thing. If you wanted to quit, like it's one of those.
No, I don't think if you enter into one of those, I don't think it's not just 4 weeks, is it?
Well, the only reason I'm saying that is that this works both ways, right? If it was a standard employment contract, you basically just got to give notice if you want to leave. So if another club came along and said, Madge, we kind of want you, you can leave your job and come to us. All you got to do is give you 4 weeks notice. And then, like, what I'm saying is another club, it's going to work both ways. Another club could actually just pick up Madge halfway through the year if they're not going well.
I think the way they're trying to sell it is, well, this is the way I read it in the paper. I think Carl Morris did an interview with Bomber Bedell. We absolutely want Madge for the long term. We see him as our coach for many, many years to come. I'm paraphrasing here. But then the caveat was, which only emerged in the last 24 hours, that, they want to do this standard employment contract thing. I don't know about 4 weeks. Matty, if you're an NRL head coach, I couldn't see how they could sort of chop you off that. I think it basically means
he could chop them off.
Oh, well, he could, but maybe, yeah. What, you reckon he's going to do that?
Well, if he feels like he's being disrespected or if he feels like someone else has got a better offer.
Sort of like Madge is.
No, I know that. I know that.
I can't ever see him want to walk away or
it's
throw a towel in.
It's a double-edged sword. That's all I'm saying. All I'm saying is
it is.
If it's not going well, they go, we're going to let you go.
Yep.
He can also say, well, I'm going to let you go because I've actually got a better deal over here, whatever it is.
Yeah, or if they're flying and somebody else wants to come in and whatever.
And then they don't have a coach.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it is. It's a little bit uncharted territory is what it is. Your read on this, my man in Amsterdam.
I feel like we're reading way too much into the standard employee contract because the root and branch review and the fact that they want to keep Madge long term, I feel like they've definitely they've gone all in on him, and the roster turnover suggests that. Like, they've lost Payne Haas, they've lost a couple of other players as well, Selwyn Cobbo. Madge is recruiting Madge-type players. Mitch Barnett is coming to the club. They've got Dane Gagai coming to the club. They've got players like Reece Walsh and Ezra Mam who don't really fit into Madge's style of play. We saw the other week without Reece Walsh, they beat Canberra. So I look at their roster, and it's kind of Madge is trying to make the Broncos a side that is not the Broncos. Like, and this is what I find so impressive with Justin Holbrook. He's lent into what style of play, the strengths and the weaknesses of the Newcastle Knights. That they don't have a genuine halfback, but Dylan Brown is making it work because they're leaning into that. I feel like they're too confused, and like keeping Reece Walsh in that side with under a Madge side. Yeah, it worked last year, but it was just a perfect storm last year. I think it's dangerous territories moving forward with this, and potentially you might lose someone like Ezra Mam, who hasn't played his best footy, but should be a superstar 5'8", but he's not really performing.
If you said they're all in on Madge, you think they're all in on Madge, why wouldn't they give him a 4-year deal?
They should.
Yeah.
They should if that's what they're doing.
Yeah. So this just makes zero sense to me.
Because the roster's turned over so much in the last 2 years that it's going to keep going if they don't go all in.
Plus, we always hear rumblings about how there's certain players that are not happy. So, it wouldn't surprise me if there is a bit of not a mass exodus, but there might be a couple of players who say, nah, found a better deal elsewhere.
The thing is, if they go the first 10 games next year and don't win as many as they're expecting, are they going to sack him? Like, probably, right?
He needs a fast start. He needs a fast start after the way it's gone completely tits up this season, no question whatsoever. So we wait and see. The root and branch review, no stone unturned, kicking over rocks, looking under desks, looking everywhere. The Broncos, absolutely thorough review. Now, Victor Radley out for the rest of the regular season. This caught me by surprise. Our man Christian Nicolosi, gun journo from the Sydney Morning Herald, has written this morning. So Victor the Inflictor, another concussion-related HIA stand-down, looks set to miss the last couple of games of the season for the Chooks. Roosters have always taken a super ultra cautious approach with HIAs, and in this space you can look at Boyd Cordner, you can look at Jake Friend. More recently, Lindsay Collins missed 6 weeks. That wasn't mandatory. That was a Roosters club decision. So now Victor looks like he's the latest Rooster who's going through it. What do you think of this, Matty?
Yeah, I like it. I like this policy. There's more to life than footy, let's be honest. And you look at some of those guys that have been preserved, like Boyd Cordner, Luke Keary. These guys have gone on to have really successful after footy careers. So they've I think the Roosters are actually doing them a favour by doing this. I like it. So if I'm Victor Radley, you might want to get out there and rip and tear. But to be honest, this is for the best.
Also reducing the risk of another one before the finals, because if he gets a second one in consecutive or before the finals, then all of a sudden they're missing him for the finals. So it's a very smart decision, and they're very smart with the way they've handled it. And like, it's just funny how Lindsay Collins, Victor Radley, Luke Keary, Boyd Cordner, Jake Friend, tackling technique issue at the Roosters?
Yeah, it's always Roosters.
They have micro-analysed it to within a millisecond of its existence, the whole reasoning behind it with sports science and neurologists, and it's obviously a hugely important issue. I'm about as far removed as you're going to get from any sort of medical expert. Dr. Nick Riviera would be more up all of our alleys. But I think it's just bad luck,
Yeah,
I don't think you can't, it's a brutal game. It can happen.
They're also the guys that play with heart first over their head. So you're obviously going to put your head where most others wouldn't in certain
Victor's
scenarios.
A warrior. Yeah, Victor's an out-and-out warrior. Now, what about this new kickoff rule, Brandon? What's going on here?
Well, the NRL have introduced this week that the kickoff rule will be implemented in the Thursday game, Melbourne versus the Broncos. We do have a voicemail over it if you want to listen.
Oh, yeah, here we go. Look out, the hotline.
Yeah, you'll just have to give me 1 second. And I don't have it.
Okay, we will reboot
Oh,
that.
actually, no, I do.
hang on.
It got sent last night as soon as NRL 360 played. So
Okay.
here we go.
Thanks to Daphne on the switchboard.
My name's Kyle. I just want to say I'm loving the show. Shout out to Darcy McDonald, up the Dogs. I'm just hearing that the Brisbane-Melbourne game this week is apparently trying the nil kickoff rule. And I just think it would be the funniest thing ever if both teams came together and just said, we're kicking off anyway. Just it's a stupid rule that's been brought in to counteract the dumb rules they've already brought in. NRL, sort it out. Anyway, loving the show, guys. Enjoy.
Was it Kyle?
Kyle, yeah.
On you, Kyle.
Yeah,
Appreciate
love
the
it.
phone call, mate. I reckon he's talking a lot of sense, Kyle. A lot of sense.
Yep.
I don't like this rule. I know Wayne Eastwood is the one who has been pushing it repeatedly because I think he fell in love with it during the Super League era. They used it then. I don't, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. It's been working since 1908. Hang on a minute. Okay, now let's let the team that concedes a try decide whether they want to kick off or receive. Yeah.
Well,
no.
every club apparently at the start of the year had a vote on whether they wanted to bring this in, and I don't think any of them voted for it. They were all against it.
Well, they were fast tracking it in at the start of the year, right? Generally, if PVL decides he wants to do something, it's the bulldozer straight over the top, and then you just sort of see what happens out the back once you've got to the destination. But there was that much resistance and blowback from rival clubs around the game. They went, hang on a minute. And then they went, okay, hold on, all right, maybe we'll just holster that for the moment and then we'll wait till there's an opportunity like a dead rubber game. I hate using that word, but this game doesn't have any implications or bearing on what's going to happen come September. Broncos and Melbourne on Thursday night. And so as a result, we're going to see this. I'm tipping you're off the back fence about this.
Oh, yeah, no, initially when I first heard the reports, I was so against it. But the fact, I think we do have to, the reason PVL has been so successful is he's constantly trying to improve the game. So I think we've got to try it and just lean into it. And if anything, if we lean into it and it doesn't work, then at least we can prove that, hey, it's not something that's going to go forward. I don't love it, but I thought where the game was last year was a
100%.
nice. Like, you don't have to make two rules you can just take away two rules to have the same result. Like, it just doesn't make sense.
It's a rule to fix a rule.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, there's too much overcorrecting here. But that being said, I do appreciate PVL and how he's constantly trying to improve the game.
So is the point of this rule to basically arrest momentum for the team that is, potentially getting bulldozed? Is that the idea behind this?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Right. Yeah, I hate it. I hate it so much. Yeah.
Well, we'll wait and see how it unfolds Thursday evening. Be fascinating to watch whether it gets off the ground or not. For next season, I'm tipping it's going to be a lightning rod for criticism and also just as a general talking point. So we'll wait and see where they land. Now,
just think about it for next year. Like, say they implemented it right. Say the Penrith Panthers come in and chose to kick off after they scored, or sorry, it's the other team that chooses to receive after they scored.
And
then Penrith pin them in a corner all of a sudden, and then they've got.
Yeah, I know. Well, this is it. Yeah. No, it's a head scratcher for me. But anyway,
Also,
much sharper minds
one
than
more
us
thing.
are
How do
pushing
you
it.
prove that it doesn't work? That's the thing. How do you prove that this rule is not going to work?
I think it's more so exposure therapy on Peter Villiers. Like, when he wants something, he gets it. And I fear that he's already made his mind up. He's just trying to.
I just imagine they get to a point where they go, let's just do it. Who cares? We've implemented it now. Let's just do it. And that's kind of how the game gets wrecked in a way, because they just bring something in and then, then they've got to bring something in for that. And then they've got to bring this. So, I just don't do it is my point.
Yep.
Book me in for some therapy about this conversation. I need smelling salts and no-dos. Right, now, Jack Cole for the Panthers is in line. This is interesting. This is real interesting. So the Penrith decided, Ivan Cleary made the big call a couple of weeks back that he was going to rest Blaze Talangi and put Jack Cogger into the halves alongside Nathan. Jack Cogger now suspended for 3 weeks. So that includes the opening week of September. That's thrown a spanner in the works. Jack Cogger, they started him. Did he get injured? What happened? Why was he missing for a week? And then we brought Cole in when Talangi got named. And what happened there?
That was in the Wires game. A baby?
That's right. Yes. Yeah, that's right.
But he had that, like, you remember when he was on 360, he looked busted.
That shocking. Yeah. He had a proper busted eye. I find this is big news in terms of the balance of Penrith sides at a critical junction in the season, and all of a sudden now they're playing around with key positions.
I find this really strange. I think it goes to show that Blaze Talangi is probably not wanted anymore. They're going to probably carry him on the bench. Maybe they're carrying him as like that 18th man who can cover an outside back position because he can play. I think he can play in the centres at a pinch. Jack Cole for me. I like him. I think he's a really good player. He's only played 19 games. Blaze Talangi's actually played 60. So, Blaze has got the experience, but that's why I'm saying I think Blaze is probably on the outs.
Yeah, that's why this is interesting. They certainly, this wasn't part of the grand master plan when they were humming at the beginning of the year, and it only emerged sort of over the course of the last couple of months that Talangi was really getting targeted defensively. Brandon, that's most likely why Ivan's decided to make this decision, but to be forced into one of these changes so close to the big end of season games just feels like, with Isaiah Yeo out as well, and now this other key position change, there's just a couple of little things going wrong at the wrong time for the Panthers.
Yeah, just defensively, obviously they're a bit worried about him being a spot there. They've also got, like, I don't think Isaiah Papali'i's had the best reads in the past as well. They've got Casey McLean on that side, so they need someone who can be there and do a job. Jack Cole, tackle percentage over his career is 90%. Blaze Talangi for the last 3 years, around 80%. So he's bumped it up to 85% this year.
Yep.
So, like, both of them, like, aren't in the top tier of defensive halves in the competition, but Jack Cole's obviously defensively better. I wouldn't mind seeing a tactic if they've got that one reserve up their sleeve with, like, 20, 30 minutes to go. If you bring Blaze out there, then he doesn't really need to make constant decisions with defense because he will be that attacking spark that they have. So, it's a funny one, but obviously they're looking at Jack Cogger as being the guy who's going to take him there.
Did they not use Blaze a couple of weeks ago against the Roosters?
They did.
And he threw an intercept.
Yeah.
So his confidence may be down a little bit.
It's a bit of a tricky situation.
And he just got bugger all time. They were chasing points, got thrown on. It's interesting. You raise a good point, Matty, where he's a November 1 player as well. So I don't think his agent won't be happy. His agent's Isaac Moses. So I can't see him being overly happy with how this is all. Tell you what, as I've said that out loud, I'm just imagining the phone calls to Matty Cameron and Ivan Cleary and all the crew out at Penrith.
Yeah.
And then we'll have the media crew coming in with all their takes on it. And don't envy that scenario at all at the moment. But we wait and see. The Panthers, big game. Like, they've had a good rivalry with the Dogs in recent times.
Bogey side.
Dogs rolled them earlier in the year. What do you got for us out there?
We talk about Blaze Talangi and his attacking spark. He's played 19 games, only scored 5 tries and had 8 try assists this year. So I think for someone who's got such an attacking spark, he hasn't really – I just think he doesn't look comfortable in 5A. I would love to see him have more room in maybe the outside backs or fullback, but obviously in the Panthers side, it's probably not a possibility. So I do think they've persisted with him. Last year, it took him 10 rounds, 11 rounds to put him in the side, because they did have Jack Cole there at the start of the year. Maybe the experiment just hasn't worked.
A lot of our commenters have pointed out he would fit in really well at the Warriors. you know, remember when the Jet Cleary thing was happening, they were kind of saying, oh, they should do a bit of a swap. I actually think that's a good shout. I actually think he would really fit in at the Warriors as their 5'8".
Or the Dogs as their fullback.
That's not bad, actually. Yeah, I don't mind that.
That's not a bad shout. That's not a bad shout at all. No, he's a good player. I got no doubt he's got a bright future in the game. Just a couple of little teething issues at the moment. But
still young. He's only 21.
Oh, he's
20,
only
21.
a kid. I wonder if the Eels might try and get him back there because he was the one that got away badly. He and also the young Raiders halfback Ethan Sanders. They dropped the ball terribly off the kickoff, letting those two local juniors slip through the cracks. I wonder if they
but
it's a bit like buying back the farm, trying to get Blaze back.
Para's got Jerome Luai, so
for 12 months.
Yeah. Blaze Salungi's off contract after next year, so
there you go. Okay, there you go.
Fits perfectly.
It could work. It could work. We'll wait and see what happens in this space. Now, the hotline, we've been teasing it for a number of weeks now. It has gone absolutely into overdrive. We've had to put Brandon on. We had to let him out of the lab of an evening, and he's been down on the switchboards with Darren and Daphne, just working his way through all these calls.
Yes, so I'll just preface this with if you are going to send a hotline, please make it less than a minute because if it's over a minute and a half, 2 minutes, then we've got to cut it down. So I've had to do that with a lot of these.
You've been in the editing lab,
yeah, I've had to edit a lot of
Okay.
these because a lot of them are over 2 minutes. So that's probably why it took us a little bit longer to get around to it.
I think a few people thought it was like one of those old 0055 numbers too. There was a lot of heavy breathing and all sorts of different gravy things going on there. But anyway,
Keep it pithy.
All right, let's go. Let's start with the Sharks.
G'day guys, Jai calling here from Foster. Absolutely loving the show, the content, it's all great. I just wanted to call in about my beloved Cronulla Shark. I feel like it doesn't get spoken about much, but they're absolutely doing my head in. So they've had the same squad for the past 4 or 5 years under Fitzy. Yes, they've made a couple of prelims, they've made finals every year, but the loss against the Dragons has highlighted the fact that whenever a team ruffles their feathers, gives it to them through the middle, the young Dragons forward pack absolutely gave it to them in the middle. And it's like they've got no plan B. They just go, shit, what's going on here? And when they're trying to push to make a grand final, they're going to be put in that same situation by the better teams, and they never seem to have an answer for it. I just wanted to get your thoughts on that. Cheers, guys.
Talking a lot of sense there, Jai. They do struggle without Braden Trindle in the halves. They struggle to play off the back foot sometimes. That's something that has been exposed over the course of the last couple of weeks around the Sharks. Look, I like the side. I can understand why Fitzy has remained loyal with this group of players, but this is the last throw at the stumps. Like it's getting disbanded and busted up and split apart at the end of this season. So you got Sione Katoa and Ramian going up to the Cowboys. Was it Katoa? It was, wasn't it?
Sione Katoa.
Then there's a number of other players. Will Kennedy did extend. Who else is leaving? Oh, you got the big back rower who's going over to Perth. Talaki.
Oh, Talakai. Yeah.
Talakai. Talaki apologised to
Puru, their backup half, is going.
He's going to Perth as well, is he?
Yep.
Oh,
Yep. Yeah, so it is all starting to Cameron McInnes is going over to the UK Super League. So this is the final throw at the stumps. Little bit similar to like a lot of good judges always say, at this time of the year, it's the team that's the healthiest and you need some luck in running in terms of suspensions, right? I feel like Cronulla, they're not getting that luck in running. So Ramian's out, right, for the rest of the season. If you go back to the beginning of the year, when he was missing, he and Ronaldo came back and everyone went, holy shit, hang on, because they were a bit sort of flighty and winning and losing and then those two come back in, everyone went, oh shit, hang on a minute. They are actually a good side. I like their pack. I think their pack is no nonsense. They're a reflection of their coach a lot of the time, the way that their forward pack plays. I thought against St. George, they had a badly off day, but I still can't see them doing too much in the finals. Just I think the wheels have come off around, losing Braden at this time of the year, Tricky's their main man. So
you said that they're going to get split up and go their separate ways next year, but their spine's staying together. So Brayley will be there, Trindle will be there, Hines and Kennedy, they're all still going to be there. The makeup of their spine will be there.
Yeah.
So I don't see them changing all that much. It's just going to be forwards and a few backs coming and going. I mean, I've said it from the start. I think they're pretenders. I think they'll get to the finals and probably bow out in maybe the first or second week, depending on where they finish. I don't know. I don't know what it is. They just don't have the gumption.
It's funny because a lot of people are saying, they need to make the top 4 to get through. Well, they make the top 4, they play the Warriors in New Zealand or Penrith or the Roosters. Like, I don't see them getting over the top of that. And then after a big week playing one of these sides, they come off someone who's coming off a good win. So
it might be the Dolphins.
They're probably best off coming 5th or something, playing a Newcastle and then moving on and playing a side who's had a big week against the side before. So anything more than a prelim this year is a success, but anything less, it's not a success, and I don't see it happening. So at least they've got a bit of turnover next year to turn it over. Chalk did have a lot of comments around back rowers and back rowers potentially being like more middles that you go to for a bit of heart and soul. Like I know they've got great back rowers in Teague Wilton and Britton Nickera, but do they need a bit more mongrel? Like, do they need a Liam Martin or a
Hudson Young?
Yeah.
Well, they do. Yeah. I mean, I've made this comment before. Back rowers who actually go looking for the ball. It's the way the game is that back rowers stay in their channels and they don't really move. But back rowers that go looking for the ball. Hudson Young, for example, he'll go looking for it. Those are the guys that make or break games for me personally.
Yeah, they probably just need someone who is willing to do that. Look for the ball, look for an offload, play a bit of second phase footy. Whereas they're stuck. They're happy to go up and down.
I also think they peaked. The Sharks. I actually think they peaked about 4 weeks ago.
Yeah, fair point, Matty. What they win? Was it like 7 in a row or something?
Something like that, and then
8 in a row.
And then that
included putting 66 on
the Dolphins
up there, and
and then they played the Dragons, lost. They played the Raiders, and they lost. I didn't think they looked particularly good against the Titans on the weekend.
A long way from convincing. Just on the back rowers, he's not a big name, but I thought Billy Burns has shown some good variety and a little bit of something different at various stages of the season. And Sifa Talakai is that big, robust Kelvinator on wheels. But he's leaving at the end of this season as well. So I like Fitzy as a coach. I reckon Fitzy's got it in spades as a coach. Maybe part of what's holding the Sharks back, and they won't probably talk about it publicly, but I'm happy to. Compared to all the other clubs, and it shouldn't matter, but it fucking does, right? You look at the Broncos, you look at the Dogs, Chooks, Storm, Penrith. They've all got these state-of-the-art fucking 11 out of 10 training facilities and setups, right? Cronulla are dead set like it's still the local A-grade side. That's how it's run. And it always has been like that. Their facilities compared to everybody else leave a lot to be desired. I don't know if that has an influence when it comes to trying to recruit players. I'm saying no, because they signed Adam Fanua-Blake only a couple of seasons back. Nico wasn't a gun star when they got him, but then they obviously extended him long term. I don't know. It's
hard to say. I guess.
And then you got the whole home ground fiasco too, where Portaloo Park.
It looks like they're staying.
90% of their side is...
Don't know. I don't know.
I saw the news report recently, and Volandis and a few of them are walking around these new corporate boxes and blah, blah, blah.
Oh, yeah, the Chinese restaurant construction zone. I've been on a million tours of that over the years. Good luck to them. Look, I hope it gets done. Just for the fans. Shark Park's a hell of an important part of the fabric of rugby league. It's a crucially important suburban ground. Locals love going there, right? And so it's a community asset. But at the moment, it leaves a lot to be.
And other teams hate going there.
They hate going there. It's a hard joint to play.
An advantage.
It's a hard joint to play, Shark Park after dark. Thank you to that call. Thank you to Jai for that phone call.
We just ripped the Sharks apart.
What else? Oh, mate, no, he's asking the question.
No, they're good. They're good.
Fair.
And he's on the same side as well. 90% of their side are juniors, so like the fact that they're not able to recruit, like still that's a good sign for them that they can produce. Melbourne. Storm.
Hey, Hoops, how you going? Macca from Far North Queensland, bro. Just want to state that I don't reckon that Melbourne have gotten the coverage of what the effects of these players and the coaches, injuries and stuff are for the season this year. Katoa and the front rower there with the brain injuries and the stroke and what's coming up with the coach and that. I just don't think that Melbourne, right from the word go, man, were all over it because, with those sort of injuries, the mental side of the game, as you all talk about, it really affected them. You could see it throughout the year.
Very good points, Macca. I'm with you, mate. You can't understate. Eli Katoa was one of the best back rowers, if not the best back rower in the game last year. Melbourne Storm had planned to have him on deck and as a strike weapon this season. And then what unfolds last year, very sadly, in international football rules him out. Tui Kamikamica, talk about left field, random lightning rods. Fucking hell. He had a stroke and he's going to be forced into an early retirement. Who else, Brandon, in terms of the Storm? Oh, there you go.
Pappenhausen, there you go. Xavier Coates all season
Coates
as well.
out for the year. Like, what could go wrong has gone wrong, and every side has injuries. But it's bad for Melbourne when they miss the finals for the first time ever under Craig Bellamy, with the exception of when they got pinched for rotting the salary cap. That's a shocker.
I think next year, I don't know what the general consensus is going to be, but I think they'll come back hot. Like
they're going to want to. Craig will want to. He's a winner.
They've recruited very well. Their backline looks elite. Azarko, Coates, Howarth, Bronson Cherry. I think they're in for a good year.
I thought Howarth was kind of on the outs there for a minute.
He was, yeah. Parramatta were dead keen, but as usual with Parramatta, everything moves at snail's pace, and they're in, then they're out, then they're in, then they're out, then it's on, then it's off. Do you reckon Macca had a couple of King Browns? He sounded like, or he might have just had a big day.
Maybe.
He might have had a big day on the tools, but shout out to Macca. Appreciate you giving us a ring, mate.
I think the Storm will make the 8 next year, and you can take that to the bank.
Oh, and you ruled him out, mate. I got to give it to you. You fucking called it round 1. I said you were on the Persian rugs and whatever else was going around at the time. And, mate, you've been vindicated.
There it is.
Vindicated.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Boys, love the show. Listener from day one. Listen, we got to do something about Chock's sinuses. Every time he's on, we got to listen to him hock up gollies for an hour. Anyway, keep up the good work. Love it. Keep going. Cheers, boys. Bye.
You fucking blindsided us here. You weren't supposed to play that till he was here to defend himself, right? That's a little bit of a concerning act notice.
I wasn't sure if we were going to play it when he comes on, so
he could pick up the Bluetooth and throw it.
It's all right. We can play it again on Friday.
Look, I'll defend Chocky. I got the same thing. The air conditioning in here. And
your nose, you can hear it in your
mate,
voice.
I'm telling you, and you can see. There's also anyway. Look, we won't go on with it, but. We soldier on, and we're happy to be here, and we're glad that the hotline is in full swing and getting plenty of activity. And thank you to Daphne and Darren on the switchboards for all their hard yakka.
We got one more.
Oh, one more. Yep.
To do with global round.
Uh-oh.
Hey guys, love the show. I was just wondering what you guys thought. Obviously the game's trying to expand into different areas. I think the NRL are too outlandish with their... I've been over and living in the UK for the past year and a bit. Rugby league in London doesn't have a pulse. And even if it did, yes, I understand Hong Kong because of the gambling money and, Japan, I understand that. But then why wouldn't they look at Hawaii, for example? Hawaii is only an 8-hour flight compared to Vegas. Hawaii would be amazing for the game. Just because it's not necessarily the biggest city doesn't necessarily mean you're not going to get growth. But like I said, I'm not an expert, so I was more just wondering what you guys thought. Love the show. Thanks, guys.
I had to cut a lot of that out. He goes on for about a minute on Wales, on why Wales would be good. It was a very good spiel.
Wales.
Oh, Wales, the animal Wales.
No.
I thought we were talking about
orcas. I thought the orcas are coming to it.
He made a very good case about why Wales is a better opportunity than England. So I just thought I'd mention that.
Okay.
I didn't think Wales were big on rugby league. I thought they were more of a football. I thought, because it's off to the...
I went to a test match in Wales once, the Kangaroos. Actually, you know what? I think it was Daly Cherry Evans' debut for the green and gold. Yeah, they played Wales. It was in Wrexham.
Famously has a football team owned by Ryan Reynolds.
There you go.
Yeah.
What was that? That was 2011, I think that was.
Was it good?
Darren Lockyer's farewell tour. Shout out to Darryl. That's his brother. Darren Lockyer's farewell tour for Australia on the Four Nations. Australia won that trophy. Tim Sheens was the coach. Was it good? Yeah, great tour, mate.
Yep.
Great tour. Outstanding. Australia had a lot of success. Chock was on that tour.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Did you? So you were there. You followed them around. Sort of
I was working for the Telegraph. I was a young bloke working for the Telegraph at the time, and it was a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
Yeah, right. Well, global round.
Global round. Yeah, sorry, I've gone off piste there. Not to be confused with Snake's hist. Off piste.
Got
on
it.
the slopes. Yeah. I like that call about global round. Hawaii. Aloha.
Yeah, I like it.
I'm liking this. I'm liking this a lot. Not the first time I've heard it. I have heard a few other people throw it up over the years. I think it would work. Anywhere, I'm a big fan of the old John Quayle line. If you build a fence around it, you'll never get out of your own backyard, right? So you got to fucking think big, and that's why I'm such a massive supporter of Peter V'landys, because he doesn't take a conservative approach towards being an administrator. He's an innovator. He's a can-do style of an operator. He takes risks. He thinks, he shoots for the stars. And that's how he's got a $5.3 billion broadcast deal. When he first started talking about Vegas, a heap of the nine-ball flea fucking CEOs in the background, right, were all shooting poison darts. I can still remember one in particular pissing and moaning about, he wants to hand out all these little Christmas cakes and we won't go. And, well, bugger me, even it was at the West Tigers. Even the Tigers are going this year now, like you got to be prepared to take risks if you want to grow your business. And the $5.3 billion broadcast deal vindicates it.
So when are they hoping to bring in a world round? Is it not
2028?
Okay.
World round,
but
global round.
It'll probably be
We'll bring in world round 2 and universe round, the lot.
It'll probably be Australia, New Zealand, Papua New Guinea they'll play in, and then they'll go what? Las Vegas.
Hawaii, maybe.
There's talk of Miami. We'll get the Don Johnson white suits out. Away we go. Yeah.
Wales, maybe.
Anywhere.
Hong Kong.
Nothing's off limits. We think big. We think outside the square. So anything could happen. Now, Latrell has been cleared for takeoff. He's going to be the super sub for the Bunnies off the bench against the Gold Coast Titans this week. What do we make of this, boys?
I think it's awesome. I think it's a massive boost for South. I don't think it makes them contenders all of a sudden. They still need to get... they're still missing a bunch of players, aren't they? They're still missing. Are they missing anyone else? Really? Can you tell me?
Help me out here. Adam Elliott's out.
Ashton Ward.
Ashton Ward. Yeah, that's the big one.
Out.
I don't know.
The Bunnies missing?
It's all a bit late. It's all just a bit late for me in terms of like getting their guys back on the field, having them play well consistently for a few weeks. Like they've just left it all a bit too late. I don't mean they've left it late. It's just a matter of injuries. But they're obviously going to make the 8. I don't think they'll be progressing further than week 1.
I think Latrell's that type of player that you can just chuck him in any time and he'll make an impact. So the performance they had last week, if they could replicate that in the finals at all, the defensive performance they had, who they play against, who they
was it the Dogs?
Yes, it was the Dogs.
By the way,
they were good against the Dogs. They are very Jekyll and Hyde. They were good against
really
the Dogs.
Yeah,
and then against the Wars, it was like, hang on, what's doing here?
Shootout.
They're the sort of side, and with Wayne as the coach, I could actually see them surprising someone in week 1 of the finals. I could see them surprising the Chooks in round 27.
I had that, I had that thought, that feeling probably 2 months ago.
Yeah.
but it's just faded. It's just faded because, as I said, they just haven't had everyone on the park together for long enough. Like, it's not just about having all the names on paper. It's about having them playing.
Like who?
Like all the guys that are coming back now. So like Cameron Murray, obviously, has been back for a few weeks. Stretch, back for a few weeks now. But for me, it's just a bit too late.
Latrell back is big, but Latrell in beast mode, anything could happen. I think they can clearly handle the Gold Coast Titans. They'll have their eyes on the Roosters. I notice he's wearing the Stack hat now, Jackie. What's with that? The headgear.
Oh, because he got split in the ear,
he split
remember?
The chandelier open, did he?
When was that? It was something. It was an important moment in the match where he got split in the ear. I think someone had hide him.
Yeah, that's ringing a bell. When you watch 48,000 games of rugby league.
But he was bleeding from the ear, and he had to get sent off.
Yeah. Yeah, I still get the feeling as though they could be one of those sides. Like, they're going to be there. They could shock someone. It wouldn't stun me if all of a sudden there was a boil over or something in round one of the finals and then they go on a bit of a hot streak run, especially with Latrell back into the side.
Who are they likely to play? So 7 plays 6 Newcastle.
Jump in the lab. What's going to happen in week 1 of the finals?
It'll probably be Newcastle unless the Cowboys get a win over them. And if that's the case, I'll play the Sharks or the Dolphins. So Newcastle, Sharks or the Dolphins. Or they could play the Cowboys. I reckon they can beat all those sides.
Yeah,
I reckon they can get beaten by all those sides too.
Yeah, exactly.
They've had that sort. It's been that sort of a season for the Bunnies. A little bit of a yo-yo. Righto, boys. That's all we've got time for on Rugby League Insider today. Jump into the merch store. Wow, brand new hats. They will be flying off the racks as we speak. FanaticsTV, Brandon, is that it?
Fanatics.tv.
Yeah, happy
days. And then go into the shop and some very good details on the back. Catch us on the YouTubes.
Oh, yes, the
YouTubes. Says on the back.
Shout out to the YouTubes. Launch into the comments. Give us your feedback. As always, we appreciate you watching, listening. Give us a like. Hit subscribe on Rugby League Insider on the audio platforms, Spotify and Apple Music. We'll be back to do it all again tomorrow and the day after that. That's how much we love the greatest game of all. Brandon, you got anything?
I was like, in a rush.
We'll see you again tomorrow.
What's gambling really costing you? For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.